Welcome to this dynamic practice. We'll be having some fun with some interesting and creative transitions and really just target opening up the whole body. Maybe a little bit of a play with some arm balances along the way, but as always, we'll have options and choices for different levels of skill and just whatever your energy levels are feeling like today. So let's get started. Today, we're going to start in a seated position. Let's meet there. And so welcome to be cross-legged or kneeling. Either are perfect. Just get as comfortable as you can, and let's go ahead and shut down the eyes. We look to settle the body just to establish a nice bedrock of stability before we ask it to do a little bit more than that. And so from stillness, we allow this consolidated feeling to move into the dynamic nature of the practice. And just to kick things along, take a nice long and very deep breath in. Soft, easy, releasing breath out. Let the shoulders sink, let the jaw soften and the eyes soften. And immediately tune into your body. So the felt experience of your body starts to become the focus of your attention, the point of interest. And as you start to get informed about the body through sensations of the body, shift your attention to your breath. And as you start to feel your breath, we start to deepen and slow the breath down. And really that's the name of the game, slowing the breath down. As you breathe in, see if you can feel it coming down towards the lower back. Let it fill and rise up through the torso, through the belly, through the side body, up into the middle of the chest. As you exhale, bring it out a little bit slower. Just going to start to work with a little bit of breath retention. On the next breath in, take a nice deep breath to the top, nothing too strong or strained, but then hold at the top for just 3 seconds. A gentle, easy breath out. A couple of still expansive, slowed down, conscious breaths in between. And then we do it again. Expansive breath, nothing too strong. And now we hold at the top for 5 seconds. A gentle release into the exhale. Let things settle. And just these little bits of breath retention helping to calm the body pretty quickly. We change the chemical structure of the nervous system just by this little bit of breath retention. Let's do it one last time. And on this one, hold the breath in for somewhere between 5 to 10 seconds. Do it gently, be easy, be comfortable. Let's go. Deep breath in. Calm, easy breath out. I want to just maintain this level of intimacy with your breathing, and through the breath like a doorway or a pathway. It's this real support system for the whole body, especially in its slowed down and more expansive state. We look to balance out the very dynamic nature of the rest of the practice with this continuity through your breathing. Postures will change, your energy levels will change, your heart rate will change, but yet We just keep this continuity of the breath slightly slowing down and let it soothe the body through this process. Let's start to move a little. Blink open your eyes. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. Nice big breath in. And then twisting off to your right. So the left hand comes to the thigh or the knee, right hand behind the lower back. Lift through the spine and take just 2 big breaths here, turning through the shoulders. With an inhale, raising the arms straight up. Exhale to the other side. Couple of big breaths, nice tall vertical lift in the spine. Rotating the shoulders. Inhale, back up through to center, nice and big. And then let's roll over the knees and we'll come towards cat-cow. So find tabletop position. Move into cat-cow. Take an inhale to press the belly down. And then an exhale to arch and raise up through your spine. And we keep on going. Inhale to dip. Exhale to arch. And really notice the rippling action of your spine originating at your tailbone and your pelvis. We'll go just 2 more rounds. Get the shoulder blades starting to move as well. Final round, dip to the arch. And then the next time you arch your spine into that kind of angry cat position, really push the spine up between the shoulders, tuck your toes and lift the knees just 1 inch above the ground. But really try and keep the power and the emphasis through the shoulders here. So rounding, pushing the spine up. We'll just take 1 more big breath. And then drop the knees, dip the belly down, puff the chest forward. And then we'll do it 1 more time. Arch, hold for a tick, pick up the knees and hold. Spine constantly pushing up through the shoulder blades. 1 more big breath. Last cat-cow. Drop the knees, dip the belly down. A very gentle arch. And then lift the chest up, standing up on your knees. Raise up your arms nice and high. Squeeze your glutes hard. Squeeze them hard. Press the pelvis forward and then bring the arms by your side. Palms face forward. Tuck your toes if they're not. Lean back at the knee. Make the thighs do some work. Belly in. That perpetual feeling of the tailbone tucking. We'll hold for a breath or 2. Might be a little bit shaky here. Stay with it. Thighs are starting to work now. And then with an inhale, lifting up and into down dog. Sweet release. Tuck the toes. Lift up your hips. Take some movement into down dog. Pedaling out and even a little wiggle of the tail and a sway of the hips. And we'll just go 1 more big breath here. Introducing down dog to the body. And then starting to walk your hands backwards towards your feet. Coming into a forward fold. Really softening through your neck and your shoulders. You might shift a little bit of body weight around. Forward and back, side to side. Again, make sure the neck is nice and loose. And then we'll come to a little something called Padahastasana. So lift the feet just enough to slide the palms underneath the feet. Now be careful with your balance, but don't stress out your lower back firstly, but look to pull a little bit through the arms and press the feet into the hands. So it kind of feels like you're pulling the wrist joint apart. Now do be gentle, but it is a bit of a firm position nonetheless. We'll take another breath or 2 now. And then release the hands. Bend the knees, suck the belly in, and roll up your spine through to standing. Reach up and stretch up nice and high. And into a little bit of a chair pose here. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Belly squeezes in. Now bring your arms down by the side. Palms can face either forward or in, but as you sweep the arms up, lift the heels up and hold. Belly in, holding. Let the shoulder blades soften. Take just 1 more big breath here. And then drop the heels and fold forward. Walk your hands out to plank position, shoulders above your wrists. Hold in plank for a moment. Drop the tailbone. And again, find that arching through the upper back, pushing the spine up between the shoulders. We take 1 more big breath. And then lower the knees and lower the whole body down, flat onto the floor. Hands as wide as your mat, roll into cobra. Inhale to lift up the chest. Exhale to lower back down. Keep on going. One breath to one movement. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Really try and point your feet quite hard. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more. Kneecaps lifted. And then release. Chest comes down. Push back through to tabletop. Hands and knees. And then straight up into downward facing dog. Lifting up your hips. Go ahead and take a nice easy walk towards the top of the mat. Feet coming forwards towards the hands. As you get there, inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold back in. Stand tall and reach up all the way. Again, find that chair pose. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Arms by the side. Knees steady. Lift the heels, lift the hands. Arms up. Holding, belly in, nice and tight. 2 more big breaths now. A little bit of a challenge for you. Hands to prayer. Keep the heels lifted. Just like a ballerina. Come up onto the toes or up onto the point. Heels are lifted. Holding. Squeeze your glutes. Belly in. Bring the arms by the side. Interlace your hands behind the lower back. Roll back the shoulders. We're making the feet do some work here. 1 more big breath. And then drop the heels and fold. Hands coming up over the head. A little bend in the knees is fine. Relax your neck. 2 more big breaths. Release. 2 hands to the floor. Inhale to halfway lift. Step your left foot back. Lower the knee to the floor and raise the chest and arms up. Low lunge. Palms touch if you can. Now sink the hips and lift the chest up. 2 more big breaths. Tuck in the back toes if they're not already. We're going to go slow in this first round and then link a few things together. 1 more big breath. And as you release, hands to the floor, start to straighten through the front leg into half Hanuman. And just take maybe a little wriggle forward on the heel, soften the shoulders and the neck. 2 more generous breaths right here as you are. And then walk the hands forwards, pick up the back knee and find simple twist, easy twist. Right hand raises up. Just a couple big breaths, sort of introducing these shapes to the body. 1 more solid breath here. Alrighty, so stick with me here. As your right hand reaches back, sweep it back, and then as it sweeps down, reach the chest or reach the arms forward, lift the chest off the thigh, take a big breath into extended arrowhead. Exhale to sweep your arms back into arrowhead. Lower the back knee, raise the chest and arms, palms touch, lean back, big breath, and then hands to the floor, half Hanuman. Let's keep doing it. Bend the front knee, reach the right hand forward and up, pick up the back knee if it's not, reach back, down, forward, lift the chest, reach the arms out, big breath. Exhale back through to arrowhead. Last one, drop the back knee, raise up the arms, big breath in. Exhale to straighten through the front leg and fold. Let's go. Simple twist. Bend the front knee, pick up the back one, reach the right hand forward and up, then back. Sweep it down as you reach it out. This time, extended arrowhead, big breath in. Exhale through to arrowhead itself. A little different. Hands to the floor. Pick up the front foot up and back into a 3-legged dog and give it a sweet release. Big breath in. As you exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Inhale. Lift it back up. Exhale to the right elbow. Squeeze it in. Inhale, back up. Finally, to the right elbow. Squeeze it in again. Inhale, lift it back up and exhale to step that foot outside your right hand into a very loose lizard lunge. Just take a little bit of movement here. Wriggle around a little bit. 1 more big breath. Now really try and round your upper back. As you're ready, step back into side plank. Right leg steps back on top of the left. Raise the hand up, the right hand up. Take a big breath here, just one. And then switch that side plank over. Right hand down, left hand comes up. Maybe, wild thing, left foot stepping out. Turn the hips, raise the chest. A big breath here. Now stick with me for the transition. As your left hand comes to the floor, tap the left knee to left elbow, squeeze it in. Inhale, three-legged dog. Step that left foot between your hands. Follow the right foot up behind it into a cross-legged forward fold. Take an inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold in. And the exact position on the feet is just kind of up to you. They can be a little bit more staggered, back and forward, or side by side, I think is probably a little bit more intense. We'll take a good 2 more big breaths. And then very simply uncross the feet, feet side by side. Roll up your spine all the way through to standing, and we're coming through a flow. Big breath in. Exhale to fold again. Halfway lift, inhale. And then a step or jump straight back into chaturanga. Bend your elbows. Inhale, up dog, chest pulls through. And then down dog to lift up the hips. Big breath or 2 here. And then looking forward, take a walk, step or jump to the top. Feet coming up. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Stand tall and reach up. Exhale to fold again, hands coming down. Halfway lift. Right foot stepping back, lower the knee. Raise the chest and arms up, palms touch. Squeeze your right glute. Sink the hips a little further forward, not necessarily down, but forward. Belly stays in, pulling back. We'll just take 1 more big breath here. And then release, hands to the floor. Settle into this half Hanuman. You might keep the stance a little bit longer. Let the left hip sink back, and we're just going to take 2 or so more breaths here. Go ahead, bend the front knee. Walk the hands forward. Pick up your back knee and raise a left arm up. So in this twist, you're trying to keep the power in the back knee so the hips aren't going to move and rotate. But all the twist comes into the upper spine through the shoulders. We'll just go another big breath here. And so from here, this first round, we'll go slow. Reach your left hand straight back. And as it sweeps down towards the floor, lift the chest off the thigh, reach your arms out in front of you, extended arrowhead, big breath. Exhale to sweep the arms back into arrowhead. Drop the back knee. Inhale, arms up, chest up, big breath. Exhale, hands to the floor, half Hanuman. Couple more of these. Let's work the leggies a little bit. Bend the front knee. Reach your left hand forward and up. Reach it back. Down, forward and up with the chest. Reach out, big breath. Exhale to sweep the arms back into arrowhead. Lower the back knee. Inhale, arms up, lean back. Exhale, hands to the floor, half Hanuman. Let's do it one last time. Inhale, walk the hands forward, pick up the back knee. Left hand reaches forward, up, back, down. Lift the chest. Reach out, big breath. Exhale, arrowhead, sweep the arms. Lower the back knee, arms up, big breath. Exhale, fold, half Hanuman. This time, into the twist, bend the front knee. Reach left hand forward, up and back. Reaching out, hold for a breath. Sweep the arms back. 2 hands to the floor. Front leg lifts up and out. Oh, that is a nice release. Bend at the knee, tilt the hip, 1 big breath. Exhale, knee to the nose, pull it in tight. Inhale, back up. First of 2. Exhale to the left elbow, squeeze it in. Inhale, back up. And again, to the left elbow, squeeze. Inhale, back up. Step the left foot outside your left hand. Very loose lizard. So catch your breath here. Let it settle. Even if it's for a moment or two, we're keeping this intimacy with the body in the moment. We feel a little bit of challenge and little bits of discomfort, and then we match that with soothing through the breath and settling things in the mind. Last breath here. Strong shoulders, strong leg at the back there, and find side plank. Left leg steps back, left hand comes up, lifting the hips. We just take one more big breath. Side plank, other side. Left hand down, right hand up. Wild thing, a lovely choice there. Lifting the back of the heart. Couple of big breaths. And as your right hand comes down, tap your right knee to right elbow. Squeeze it in. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift it up. Step your right foot between the hands. Left foot straight up behind it. Cross-legged forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen out. Fold, back in. A little bit of softness through the neck. We take some breath. We let it settle. 3 or so more. Last one, big breath. Uncross the legs, feet side by side. Bend the knees, roll up the spine through to standing. Reach up and stretch up nice and big. Exhale to fold again, hands coming down. Halfway lift, step or jump straight back into chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale finds up dog, chest pulls through, and then down dog to lift up the hips. 1 or 2 breaths only, just enough to catch it and let it settle. Let's keep moving. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step that foot in between the hands. Go ahead and puff the chest forward on fingertips, straight back leg. And now as you start to straighten the front leg and fold, lift the front ball of the foot up. 2 more of these. Inhale, lunge, bend the front knee. Really lift the right sitting bone up as you draw the hips back and fold. Last one. Inhale, lunge. Exhale to the fold, pull the hip back. This time, take crescent lunge. Plant the front foot, raise the chest and arms straight up. As you arrive, bend your left elbow behind the head, right hand up on top of it. Alternatively, maybe Gomukhasana grip. But either way, lift the head, steady up the legs, and then lean to your right. Nice big side bend. 2 more big breaths, keep the head lifting. Front knee, rock solid here. Last big breath. And then just like an elephant's trunk, swing your left arm back and down. Turn the back heel down into warrior 2. Might have to extend the stance a little bit. But go ahead and straighten the front leg and reach up and back. Come back through warrior 2 and into side angle. Elbow to knee or hand down to the floor. And the top arm wrapping behind the lower back into a half bind. Let your left shoulder sink down away from the ear. Keep the lunge deep into the front knee, but keep the back leg almost stretching back. It's kind of like you're splitting the hips open sideways. And the front knee just nudging to the right a little bit. Full bind is more than welcome, but a half is more than enough. And we'll take just 2 more big breaths. Left hand to the floor. Turn the front foot in. So now you're facing the side of your mat and take a halfway lift. And just be gentle as you start to bend into one knee and then the other, shifting your body weight from left to right. We'll take just a breath or 2 more. No wrong answer here, just a bit of flossing through the inner leg. And this time, go ahead and sink into the left foot into Skandasana. So bum to the heel, right foot lifting. Hands can be on the floor, maybe hands at prayer for some of us. We keep the intensity in the front ankle and the shin and the thigh, just sort of supporting all the joints there. Chest lifting even just a little. 2 more big breaths. Walk the hands to the top of the mat. Runner's lunge. So left hand to slide a little further forward. Turn your body to your right. Let the foot turn out and the knee turn out into Cleopatra. Reaching for the back of the mat. It's going to be a little bit tricky here, but firstly let's pulse. Inhale to lift the hips. Sweep the hand up over the head. And then sink back down. Do it one more time. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, back down. Now from here, lift the hips just enough to slide your left knee up next to the right ankle and sit the hips down, and hopefully you're facing the side of the mat coming into seated twist. Right hand behind the lower back, left hand up and twist. Hook the elbow around the knee. We take a couple of generous, easy breaths here. Chest lifting. 2 to go. We're really weaving our way around the mat today. So as you release, take a little counter twist over to your left just for 1 moment. Hands to the top of your mat. Drop the chest. Inhale, lift back up. Now your right leg kicks to the back of your mat, down your mat. I'm just going to faff around a little bit. Turn your whole body to face the back. Left knee is lifted. We're coming towards wild thing. Right hand behind the hip, behind the straight leg. Lift the hips up, bridge, holding, breathing, staying. Another breath or 2. Now, it doesn't matter if you come off your mat a little bit, but stick with me. As you unflip, turn the chest towards the floor, left hand down, step the left foot outside your left hand, step your right foot outside your right hand, and sink the hips down. Chest up, 2 or 3 breaths here. Option and opportunity for crow. You'll have another opportunity as we do the other side, but maybe we give it a crack here. And I think there's something we can all do, even just to carve out a little bit of the strength and the activation needed. So hands plant at about shoulder width apart. Lift the hips and lift the heels. So your center of gravity, your hips, is coming right up. Now look forward, but really try and push the ground away. Your hands might come back a little bit, but it's all about the knees here. Drive the knees in towards your armpits. Try and connect the thighs to your ribs. Glue them together. Keep that traction. Shift body weight forward. Hug the knees in and up. And maybe the feet want to lift. Maybe the heels come in, but squeeze the knees. Compress, compress. Keep looking forward. 1 more big breath. And then either step or jump back into chaturanga. The inhale finds up dog. The exhale finds down dog. We try and settle the breath. 2 or 3. Let's keep moving. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it in between the hands. Puff the chest forward, fingertips. Exhale to straighten the front leg and fold. Lift the foot. 2 to go. Inhale, lunge. Exhale to the fold. Last one. Lunge, inhale. Exhale to the fold. This time, crescent lunge. Plant the front foot. Raise the chest and arms up. Bend your right elbow behind the head. Left hand up on top. So suck your belly in. Try and squeeze your right glute like you're trying to tuck the tail just a little here. But let the front knee bend. As you lift the head and the chest, lean to your left and hold. Funny one here, try and sink your left hip down. Try not to let your left hip pick up, sink it down. 2 more big breaths. Take your time, keep the front knee rock solid as we find warrior two. Swing the right arm down, back heel down, open the arms. Might extend the stance a little bit, but straighten your front leg and reach up. Big breath. Back through warrior two into side angle. Elbow to knee or hand down to the floor, but into a half bind. Wrap the right arm behind your lower back. Turn back the shoulder and let the shoulder drop down away from the ear. So we're keeping the back leg really firm and solid, thigh active. A subtle feeling of your left sitting bone sinking down. 2 more big breaths. Right hand to the floor, release. Walk the hands to the right hand side of your mat and turn your left foot in. Take an inhale to halfway lift, and this time we fold forward deeply. Might like to walk your hands between your legs. Little variations are welcome, but in this forward fold, shift a little bit of body weight forward into your toes. As soon as you feel it in your toes, that's enough. From there, feel like your tailbone is lifting up and the belly draws in, thighs active. We'll take just 2 more big breaths. Inhale, halfway lift. Sink the hips to the back heel, to the right heel into Skandasana. Half squat, left foot lifted up, ankle active, shin active, thigh active, chest lifting, breath deepening, and in part, we're working compression on your right ankle. We work extension, we work bendiness in one direction, but we also work compression in the other direction. We just take 2 more big breaths. And then walk the hands to the top of the mat. Runner's lunge. Slide your right hand further forward of your toes. So create some space for your side body as you turn to your left. Foot turns out, knee turns out. Big breath in. Next inhale. Lift the hips towards the ceiling. Little side bend. Exhale and sink it back down in the opposite direction. 1 more of those. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to sink down. Now this time, just lift the hips enough to faff around. Left hand on the floor, I think, is probably a good idea. And then slide your right knee next to your left ankle and hopefully can sit the hips down into seated twist. Try and get both sitting bones grounded. Left hand behind you, right hand up towards the ceiling, and then twist. And it's all about lift in the lower back here, and then the rotation through the chest and peeling back your left shoulder. Belly draws in a little bit, almost suck it in, contract it to get the organs pulling in a little bit and out of the way. Give it a little bit of a hold. 2 more big breaths here. Back through to center. Counter twist to the other side. Hands down. Drop the chest down. Just 1 lingering breath. Inhale. Back up. So it's a bit of a readjustment here. Top leg, left leg kicks down the mat to the back. Adjust the hips so you're fully facing the back of the mat. Right knee bends. Foot on the ground next to the knee. Left hand behind your hip. Left leg straight, left hand behind you. Bridge up, wild thing, and hold. Hips lifting, chest turning, back of the heart elevated. Another big breath. And then as you turn the chest down and find sort of plank, step your right foot outside your right hand, step your left foot outside your left hand, and hopefully you're in a squat at the top of your mat. Bit of a journey we took there. Chest up, belly in. 2 more big breaths, and maybe another crack at crow pose, Bakasana. So hands plant. hips lift, and we're really trying to look for that rounding, arching upper back position. You notice here I'm pretty much in a forward fold. Really want to get the hips as high as possible. And then as the knees drive in towards the armpits, more to the point, try and draw the knees, like I imagine the knees coming up towards my throat. So in and up, in and up. And as you look forward, shift body weight into the hands and then into the fingernails. And as you're lifting the feet, compress, hug tighter, round your upper back to nestle the knees in tighter. We'll take one more big breath. And then step or jump straight back, chaturanga. Bend the elbows. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hips up. Breath or two more. And then a walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Feet forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Stand tall and reach up all the way. Hands to prayer at heart center. We're going to have a little crack at what we can do with our balance. So go ahead and draw the left knee up in towards the chest. Belly in, nice and strong. And now keep this tension in the belly, hands to prayer. I'm going to take you through slow, but we're looking for half moon. As you kick the left heel back and down, tilt forward a little, but don't move from there. From this position where you're fairly upright, start to draw the belly in and elevate your left hip up. Now right from here, you're still fairly upright. You might reach your left hand back and start to reach for the foot. If it's not quite there to grab a hold of, keep kicking into half moon and start to tilt forward nonetheless. Maybe the arms come out, but keep the back leg stiff as a rod. Really keep the knees straight and the ankles stiff. If you've got the foot, we all do something similar. Belly in, chest is feeling fairly lifted. We got two more big breaths here. Hang strong. Kick strong if you've got the foot, but don't tip yourself out. And then gently step back and down into runner's lunge. Foot back, hands down. Three-legged dog. Front foot lifting up and out. Bend at the knee, lift the hip a touch, one big breath. And then step your right foot between the hands and drop the back knee down. Chest and arms raise up. So a couple of choices here. And hands come to prayer. Turn to your right and twist. Now you might sink the hips quite deeply into this and just jump off this path wherever you want. One nice choice here is to physically grab a hold of your right thigh with your right hand, push it across and let the elbow come way around the leg, dropping the armpit over the knee. Now, that might be enough, or you start to work this really deep, lungy, twisty shape by reaching your right hand for the back foot. It's really strong shape, and don't feel like you have to do it. We let the hips sink. We keep the chest open. Now, if you want to play with a bit of an arm balance, I might show you the front view of this. Might be a little bit easier on the camera. In this lunge, with the twist, heel toe the front foot over, and we'll have a look at this Koundinyasana position. So the knee is well across the body over to the side, and then the twist can be nice and deep from here. So really looking to get the armpit as deep around the knee as possible. Now from there, the hands just sort of coming down wherever you can make it to, a bit on the 45-degree angle. And then from here, pick up the back knee, and as you bend the elbows into chaturanga, let your right hip plonk down onto that elbow. Bit of a leap of faith, I think. As you push body weight forward, maybe that air time starts to happen, and you kick and hold and breathe. One more big breath maybe. And then a graceful exit. I'll come back on my mat. Big breath in as you raise the arms up. Hopefully that was fun. And then simply hands to the floor and step up to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Stand tall and reach up. Little back bend maybe, and then hands to prayer right at heart center. All right, shall we get stuck into the other side? Right knee coming in towards the chest. Take your time, so belly in. Send the leg down and slightly back. Now, stiff knee, glute strong. Suck the belly in, like draw the belly in and elevate some energy up through the pelvis to lift the right hip. If you want to take it towards Chapasana, you bend the back knee and grab the foot now. But if you've got the foot, kick a little, keep that tension. Or if your knee is straight, keep it really straight. Keep those mechanics as you tilt forward. Breathing, maybe. Arms like to open. But we're looking at this transition as a means of keeping some lift through the torso, some elevation. We take another couple of breaths here, holding, kicking, breathing. Last one. Runner's lunge, step back and down. Three-legged dog, front foot lifts up and out, bend at the knee, one big breath. And then step that foot back between the hands, drop the back knee, chest and arms raise up. I think no matter what you're going to do here, just finding that twist to begin is nice. So hands to prayer, turn to your left, and then sinking the hips a little, front knee coming forward, but keeping the prayer moving across the chest. And sometimes I feel like it's almost a matter of lifting the chest up a touch. If you want, go deeper. Left hand catches the thigh. Manually push that leg in to the armpit. Prayer all the same. I mean, I quite like this intensity in this shape, and it's a little bit balancy, and that's where I think just shortening up the stance, sinking into the front knee a little bit more, plants the front foot a bit more to pick up the back one. It's a little bit knife edge, isn't it? We'll take some breath. Right hand can be there to open the chest and keep it open. Alrighty, if you want to, let's give this little arm balance a go. And I think there's something we can all do just at least to carve out a pathway. So lifting up, open out again, and then let's just sort of set it up. So this front foot, heel toes across your mat over to your right. And so the belly is, one way to put it, is your belly is coming across the thigh immediately, or the thigh is coming across the belly. But again, nice deep twist. So open up the belly space, lift, 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 and then hook it around, nestle it right in. I really like to suck the belly in on an exhale there, get the organs moving back towards the spine. So this part's a bit funny, right? So the hand's far away from the ground. You pick up the back knee and get that hand down. And then bend the elbows, shift your chest forward, 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 and plonk the hip as you shift. It's kind of like a seesaw, or in America, teeter top, and kicking, holding, chest lifting maybe just a little, breath or two more. Strong legs, kicking, kicking, and then a graceful exit. Oof, that's about enough of that, isn't it? Raise up the arms, big breath in. Hands to the top of the mat. Step up to the top of the mat. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to stand. Reach up and stretch up. Little different here. Exhale to fold again. Bend your knees. Plonk your bum. And roll down onto your back. Good Lord. Set the feet down on the ground. Tilt the tailbone up. And lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Settle into your breathing. Squeeze the glutes, belly in. Maybe you'd like to interlace the hands underneath your lower back. If you're feeling like a wheel, there's an opportunity now. There's also another opportunity later. But feel free, adapt. We take just 2 more big breaths. and release. Rock your way up to a seated position. You might just have a little windscreen wipe if your lower back's not feeling too spectacularly open. But when you're ready, rock up. And then we'll come towards half hero. So bend your left knee, pointing the foot backwards. And we've done all this really deep compression at the front of the hip today. And nice to just do the exact opposite. So if this is feeling pretty yucky through your knee or your ankle, probably good to sit on something, elevate the seat a good few inches, whether it's a couple of pillows or if you've got a block, that would be handy here. But then start to make your way backwards, maybe to the hands, might be enough. Maybe you're coming down onto your back. If I can suggest a couple of things, ultimately, the foot pointing straight backwards. Try not to turn it out. I mean, it might be fairly okay, but just don't want to twist the knee here at all. So ultimately, foot pointing back, and the knee and the leg pointing straight forward. It's okay if it's coming out a little bit to the side, but I wouldn't probably take it all the way out to the side. So as best as you can. If you're already there, nice deep breaths. Little tuck of the tailbone as you're making your way onto the floor is always good. Little tuck of the tail. If you're feeling just very open in this position, very comfortable, and you're down on your back, you might bend the right knee and place the foot on the ground. Just another 3, 4, or 5 breaths here. Nice and relaxed through the jaw and through the face. We're still keeping that nice deep level of intimacy with the body, even though, we really challenged it through some pretty dynamic movement. Still, that affection is there in the quality of your mind. Last breath or two. And then the easiest way out of this is just to roll onto your right side until your left leg pops out. And then take a sec, maybe some bending and straightening through the knee, some rolls through the ankle, and then hugging the knees in and rocking yourself up to a seat. We'll take it onto the other side as you're ready. Right knee bending, roll out the calf a little maybe. And if you're making your way towards your back, tuck your tail, roll on down. And then settle in. Welcome to take the arms to a position that feels just welcomed by the body. So maybe over the head or down by the side, anything that works. Really look to soften and relax through the lower back region. You can feel, I think, how much that area is in focus, and we're looking to bring length into the lower back. So, any opportunity, little tuck of the tail. If you're feeling nice and open in this position, bend your left knee, foot on the ground. Nothing should be overwhelming here. If you're anywhere near being overwhelmed, most definitely back it off. I've got this underlying sense of soothing the body through the breath. We're using it as a support system and a pathway in. 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then rolling onto your left, let the right knee pop out. Not pop out, don't want to pop your knee out, but allow it to release. And a little bit of movement through the ankle and the knee. And maybe now an opportunity for wheel or come back into bridge. Either way, feet on the ground about the width of your sitting bones. And then tilt the tailbone up, lift the hips up. If it's wheel, place the hands next to your ears or even further back, like towards more of the crown of the head. Even if the palms don't get flat there, that's okay. They will when you come up. But as you lift the hips, press the chest up through the shoulders and try and take some breath there. Squeeze your glutes. We take breath. 2 to go. Belly in for the last big breath. And then release. Come on down nice and slow. Stay still for a moment, even drop the knees together. And then little windscreen wipe, dropping the knees from side to side, left to right. Hug the right knee in, kick out your left leg, and then take that leg into a twist, over to your left. Welcome to move your hips underneath you a little. We're really just here for 2 or 3 breaths. Just a little bit of a neutralizer and a reset. Inhale, back up through to center, onto the other side now. Turn the hips over the other way. Left knee coming in, draw it over. Gentle breathing. And then with an inhale, back up through to center. Hug the knees in, rock your way up to a seated position. And then we'll come towards Koundinyasana. So feet together. Belly draws in. Puff up the chest. And then push the belly forward. Chest coming forward and down into a nice gentle fold. Not going to stay long in this one, so try and make good use. But there's 2 ways you can kind of go with this. There's one way called isometrically, and it's a bit more active. Both are fantastic ways to open up the body, so don't feel like one is better than the other. But this isometric approach, squeezing the heels together and letting the glutes activate. So the legs are actively pressing out, but in that activation, trying to bring some level of softness into it. Taking just a few easy breaths. Now, if you don't want to squeeze, about 3 breaths left and a bit more softness and body weight being surrendered into it. No harsh strain. We're just here for 1 more big breath now. Inhale, lift up the chest, kick the legs straight out in front of you, and coming towards just a very gentle and short forward fold. Lift the chest, lift the lower back. You're welcome to bend the knees as you fold and pour the chest in. A few easy breaths. Shoulders soft, neck soft. Two more big breaths. Inhale, chest lifts up. Bend the knees, roll down onto the back. As you get there, find a happy baby. Grab the outer blades of the feet. Breath or two. And then legs up. Legs up towards the ceiling. You're welcome to slide your thumbs underneath the edges of your hips, or if you wanted to take it up into shoulder stand and you're familiar with that, go for it. Just a little inversion here. Nice and settled, nice and gentle. Especially in this position with the legs simply lifted. This is called Viparita Karani, legs up the wall pose. It's a bit more about the experience than it is about flexibility or strength. Just sort of recognizing the impact you're having on the sensations in the body, the felt experience of being in your body. You could say that this whole practice is a type of body language. Each posture displays a different type of body language. And just noticing how this environment feels in the body, being inverted or with the legs up. A couple more breaths here, 2 or 3. And then release, feet to the floor. If there's something else you want to do before Savasana, absolutely feel free. But if you're ready, come on down. Let's lay flat and have a bit of a rest. As you make it into Savasana, there's a sense of broadness in your attention here. Start to spread your attention through your entire body. Notice the fingers and the toes, the crown of the head, the back of the body and the front of the body. The whole experience of the whole body. As you let go of any tension in the shoulders, in the neck, in the jaw, in the eyes, imagine that you can experience the whole body as one system, one thing is happening here. And as you notice this unfolding moment, stay with the sensations, but give them no labels, no explanation, no commentary. There's just this pure receptivity to be here and to be yourself. Not adding anything onto it. No right, no wrong, just for a few moments. Just everything unattended, perfect as it is right now. Let yourself settle, let the body rest, sink deep. Take a nice deep breath in. Start to wriggle, start to stretch, awaken the body through movement as you're ready. Take a moment or two and you might like to turn off to a side. When the time's right, rock your way up to a seated position. Keep the eyes closed for a moment, and if you're called to, bring your hands to prayer at heart center. We take this opportunity to get as full of gratitude and appreciation as we can. Let the feeling swell up in the body, and you can direct it towards anything at all. Just let it be a sincere process, and let it be a practice of letting that feeling spread through the body. And we look to allow this feeling to ripple out into the rest of the day. And with that in mind, we take a humble bow of the head and say Namaste. Thank you, folks. Pleasure to practice with you. Big love to you. Take care, have fun, enjoy. I'll see you soon.